Hey, y'all. Good grand rising. Good afternoon. Grand evening. Whenever you catch this live. Welcome in, everybody. Let me turn my phone down. I'll be forgetting to do that. If you're joining the chat, make sure you leave a comment. Let me know if you can hear me clearly as well. And I think we got a hot topic today. I seem to have a lot of people in the comments. I won't say people. Weak men in the comments. Very offended by my stance. So for those who are new, who are going to join this, who are going to catch this replay later on, I'm Lady Isis, the spiritual detective, and a narcissist's worst nightmare, a weak man's worst nightmare. Okay. So I wanted to come on and talk to y'all about this because this is a topic that I feel like women need to get more comfortable talking about and more comfortable sitting with. Okay, because King James has did a number on the woman and distorting and warping what women truly are and what the woman's position is and role is in life, and pretty much remove the woman from her divine position and placed himself there, and other narcissistic, egotistical men as well. Women are not meant to submit to men, period, point blank. Okay. Now, if you want to look up the etymology of submit, do that. But I'm going to just tell you what it means. And we're going to start there. I'm trying to figure out, I know something that's just strange. Why do the colors change? I don't like that. Hold on, y'all. I have to go and change the colors. It's crazy. Anyway. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, so some other words for submit. Submit is to yield, comply, surrender, go under, go down, give away, roll over, humble oneself. Okay? Bend. So when a man says that he wants a woman to submit to him, it's not a good thing. It's not a compliment, because energetically, what he's requiring from you is for you to give away something so that you will be accepted and picked by him. So what exactly is the woman giving away when she submits to a man? She's giving away her essence. She's giving away her autonomy. She's giving away her spiritual gifts, her intuition, her ability to think for herself. It's not a compliment when a man says submit. I'm looking for a wifey that can submit to me. What do they love to say? That can let me lead. Lead us where, sir? Lead us where? And then it tends to have the so-called men in the comments, all in the tizzy with their pennies all in a bunch. When a woman like me will speak her truth authentically, right? Unapologetically, not giving a damn if you agree with the facts or not. They got a problem with those type of women, because those are the very women that King James, their master, told them to demonize and exile, right? That's Lilith. That's the energy of Lilith. I know somebody was asking me, like, can you talk about Lilith? Lilith is an archetype. Lilith is a state of mind. Okay. And Lilith is that dark feminine. Okay. That is what they are afraid of. They are afraid. Hey, Krisha, I see y'all in the chat. Curly, Stay Ready TV. Shout out to y'all. Say, I agree. They can be terrible and narcissists and anything close to it. But that's what they're afraid of. They are afraid of women not being tamed because they fear the power of the woman. She's fierce. She's a nurturer. She could be loving. She can also have sacred rage, sacred hate, all of the feelings, all of who she is. It scares men who are not in their power and don't know who they are. Weak men want women to submit to them, period, point blank. Even if you look up the definition of submit, you would then see that it means you have to give up something to get something. This is why I tell women all the time, and I'm not speaking from a place of I'm better than you. I'm speaking from a place of I've been there, done that. I know what the hell I'm talking about because I experienced it. I've had several relationships where I've learned a lot from men that had money to men that was struggling like a motherfucker. It didn't make a difference. If the mentality is the same, money doesn't make a difference. If they don't know who they are, it don't make a difference. This is why women should not go after money and be led with things that they see. You got to follow your intuition. A man wanting to humble you and put you in a place doesn't want the best for you. He wants to control you and he wants to be, have power and dominion over you. That's rooted in fear. Real men are not afraid of a woman knowing who she is, knowing her worth, not settling. Okay? They're not afraid of that. Real men that honor the divine feminine want a woman that can think for herself, that's intelligent, that could add to the partnership, because that's what it should be. It should be a partnership, a mutual respect, not one over the other. It should just be, you respect me as a divine feminine, I respect you as a divine masculine. My job and my responsibility is to control myself, not you. That is how it should be. I see integrity in the comments. Absolutely. I shouldn't have to water down myself to make you feel comfortable because your insecurities, it triggers your insecurities to be abusive and toxic as hell. I shouldn't have to fear showing up being exactly who I am because it makes you feel inadequate. Or bite my tongue, or not take up a lot of space, or feel like I got to cater to you all day, walk on eggshells because you refuse to do the inner work to find yourself. I don't have to make you comfortable. See, those are the type of men we want to stay far the hell away from, because those are the men that will unalive you, that will put their hands on you and do everything in their power to get you down so damn small that you forget who you are. That you say submit to what? Hey, what's up, Patrick? You say they don't want you to speak until spoken to. Almost like that energy of our family. You know how they used to say to kids, like, what they used to say? Be seen, not heard. That's the energy it gives. Who are you to tell a woman she need to be seen and not heard? fuck boy. And then they'll try to go for, when they can't humble you, when they can't humble you, they'll try to go for your looks. I'm going to show y'all the comment that was left under my video right here. This is the shit they do. Right. They perceive. Let me make sure you can see my face. Okay, maybe it's that. Let me flip it on it. Hold on, y'all. I'll be trying to figure this camera thing out. Okay, I think that's right. Anyway, as you can see on the screen, it says you have a slick mouth. Your witchcraft will not work at that time with all that fake ish and makeup and fake hair. So when they feel like you too far gone, you know, we can't do nothing with that one. So they try to exile you. They try to demonize you and make you lower your sense of self and confidence, right? That is what this is. This is a tactic to humble me by way of a comment. They do it all the time, not just on YouTube. This is anywhere where I'm speaking my truth. So to say that a woman has a slick mouth and to call it witchcraft just lets me know that's those indoctrinated beliefs. That's that King James doing. Okay. King James wrote demonology to demonize women and the archetype of Lilith. Right. And then try to tell me, oh, and then they try to attack your appearance like, oh, you're what you're wearing is fake. Your makeup, your fake hair, all of that's women's business. Okay. And even if my hair was fake, what that got to do with you? My lipstick don't got nothing to do with a man. This is like, do you want to wear lipstick? It's given you want to be more of a woman than me. Because that's all I hear. I can wear makeup better than you. That's all I hear when I read this. And to say I have a slick mouth just lets me know I'm somebody you can't play with. You will never be able to keep up with my mouth. You will never be able to silence me. And see, that's just it. They want to silence the divine feminine and have been doing it by way of religion for so long. Politics, religion, systems, all of these systems are created to silence the woman. I say no fucking more. No more. As a woman, we should not be submitting to no one. We should not be in spaces where we feel like we have to be small and minimize ourselves to be accepted and fit into groups that's fake as hell probably anyway. As a divine feminine in a system built on misogyny and with patriarchal roots, you have to be okay with standing alone sometimes and still being in your power and still being confident and still speaking your truth, because they will retaliate by trying to exile you and make you feel like what you're doing is something wrong. But all you're doing is simply being yourself, simply being a human being that should be in control of your own autonomy. Nobody else should be in control of what you do with your body and your mind. If they agree, great. If they don't agree, great. You have to be okay with it or without it. You can't be led by money and riches and fame and things of that nature, because it will put you in vulnerable positions to get abused, misused, and mistreated. if you are subscribed to people who are not speaking about, you know, your healing journey, becoming a better version of yourself, standing in your power, not depending on a man for anything. That's the type of things women should be subscribing to. All that other shit is for the birds and it's bullshit, and it will set you up for failure every single time. You say let me get to the comments. You say submit to what? Submission is what a pet does. Exactly. Exactly. Say a good man don't come into a relationship putting stipulations on his woman. Not at all. But a lot of women are in relationships where they are silently dying or feel like they're silently dying because they're not able to show up and be their self. A lot of women. They probably will never admit it, but that's facts. You say he comes in as a provider, a loving man, and does everything to keep his woman happy and create a safe space. Create a safe space for her to be exactly who she is. Women are not, and I think, let me say this, because I think a lot of men perceive women who are in their power as disrespectful, right? Because it challenges their ego. It's not even that. It's about respect, really, at the end of the day. But see, when they feel like you can't be tamed, they perceive what you say as a direct threat to their entire existence. And good. I want you to feel that. I want you to feel like what I say threatens you or makes you feel like you're triggered, because maybe that will trigger you to get the hell away from me with all your bullshit, number one, or number two, go within yourself, go do some research, start utilizing all of this information that we have access to. It's no excuse why we still walking around, why men are still walking around this day and time talk about women need to submit to me, you need to be tamed, you need to be silenced. What? This is not that. This is not that. They did a number on the women then when King James had the witch hunts going on and unaliving women because of their power and sovereignty and their intuition. And this is why I say the black man want to be like the white man so bad. And that's because it's psychologically, it's deeply embedded into your psyche to want to be exactly like your oppressor. King James was an oppressor. And if you if you operate your life from that Bible that King James wrote and distorted, then you are an oppressor by proxy. It's no confusion. He also wrote demonology because he's obsessed with suppressing the woman. You are an oppressor. And ain't nobody going for that okie doke and that bullshit no more. Dictator, exactly. Wanted to put because of jealousy. King James was jealous of the fact that women were able to create life. And he felt like they can control the weather. Women could control the weather. We are nature. We are. And narcissistic men will literally do anything and say anything to keep from taking accountability. So to the witch that he perceived as a witch or something that was evil, right? King James tortured that witch for so long to the point where she had to admit, yes, I did witchcraft on the weather while you was traveling across the fucking sea to go get his wife or whatever the hell he was doing. Just to validate being abusive. Same shit they did in slavery. The same tactics in abusive relationships. It's the same thing. Just a different form of the same tactic. You get what I'm saying? It's like dictatorship. That's exactly what it is. Narcissism. If you are still applying King James ideologies to your life as a male or female, okay? As a woman, you're being your own enemy. As a man, you are an enemy to the woman. Jealousy, a man being jealous of a woman is a weak man's trait. Envious of a woman, wanting to suppress a woman, oppress a woman, distress a woman, that is a weak man's trait. Take accountability for your bullshit. Okay, hold on. Let me. Patrick said, "Yep, bitter men with no life or goals tend to try to bully everyone. Keyboard warriors." Exactly. Somebody else said keyboard warriors. Who was that said that? I thought that was so funny because that's what it is. They get all that energy behind the screen or behind their phones. But sit back and watch women get abused, mistreated. You know, y'all got so much shit to say about a woman. It's really disgusting. It disgusts me. So as a woman, we should not submit. Oh, you said, quote, as a woman, we should not submit to no one. Fact, submission is not living a happy life. Exactly. And just because a woman, like I said, just because a woman does not submit to a man does not mean she's problematic either. It's all about your perception. It's all about what you believe and how you've been perceiving women to be. I don't have to submit to you. I'm not an animal. I don't have, you can't tame me, but that don't mean I'm just disrespectful either. I respect you till you give me a reason not to. And best believe I'm all gas, no brakes. I will not let up off your motherfucking neck when it comes to my respect. Because too long women have been disrespected for simply existing. The moment I feel a man trying to humble me, because this is what I realize a lot of men do. When you're finally in your power and realize who you is, they will try to covertly undermine you or humble you. So they'll come with compliments. Oh yeah, I really liked your video and blah, blah, blah. But I think you should look into this and maybe you should look into that and just read a little bit on this. And to me, that's a covert way to try to, especially depending on what I was talking about in that specific video, which more than likely it was some shit that ruffled feathers, right? They'll try to come in a subtle, covert way, but the same tactic is still there. I read energy very well. Even through text, I can read the energy behind the message. I feel it. Right? So they'll even do it in subtle ways. No, just accept it. If you don't agree with it, if it's something that a person says that you don't agree with, you don't have to tell them you don't agree. Who gives a fuck if you agree or not? You don't have to tell them that. If it's something I don't agree with, I scroll on up. It's okay. I don't, and if it's something that you probably should dive more into, get more info about, get more knowledge and awareness, then go do that. But a lot of times people reject the truth because it challenges their ego, not because it's wrong. My delivery don't make it less truthful. The truth is the truth. whether you like it or not, whether you agree or not. You don't have nothing to prove to me. I don't have nothing to prove to you. I don't speak on nothing that I don't know for actually facts. And if I don't know, I will say I don't know, because I'm humble enough to admit when I don't know something, but confident enough to let your ass know you can't play with me like that either. You see how that go? So I'm confident enough to know what I know, but I'm also humble enough to admit when I don't know something. And that's the part that a lot of men don't know how to do, is humble themselves and go seek knowledge and truth. They just believe anything as long as it's feeding their weak ass ego. As long as it make them feel powerful and almighty, they rolling with it. No matter how absurd it sound and stupid it sound, they don't care. Long as it make them feel good. You know how many truths I had to come across and put my ego to the side and just just get to the truth. Take my beliefs out the picture. Take the indoctrinations out my mind and just see the truth for exactly what it is. That's what it takes to grow. That's what it takes to humble yourself. That's what it takes. So instead of trying to get women to submit to you, why don't you go find yourself, sir? Go find yourself. Go get a dog. Go get an animal and tell it to submit to you. Women are not meant to submit to you and feed your fucking ego. Women are not your servants. We are not Molly the maids. We are not to cater to you all day. That is not our true position. And then another thing, before I get up off here, it be the same men who refuse to stand up to the white man, who refuse to let they balls hang at the workplace. You submit to the white man and all of these oppressive systems. But you want a woman to submit to you? Tell me how that works. A lot of men do go home and dog their wives out. Dog their children out. The ones who they deem weak. Oh, you're the weaker vessel. So I can dog you out, but I can never challenge another man the way I challenge you, because they probably gonna whoop my ass. And I'm actually afraid. Or they be living double lives, or they be into other men. And they can't live in their truth because they're trying to fit a societal norm, which is play dictator in their house, be this family man to their wife and children. Meanwhile, you hate your life, you like other men, you submit to other men. You really want to be with a man, but you abuse the woman because you don't want to live in your truth, because you're afraid to be judged by other men that you respect and submit to. You're afraid. Weak man shit. That's weak. I could respect a man that live in his truth if he's into other men. Go be great. Long as he ain't beating on women and children and abusing them, go be great. Don't care. I got a problem with the ones that hide behind the family system and knowing that's not what they really want. Those are the ones I got the issue with. Trying to silence women, make them feel like we're not worth anything. You say, The man today is also jealous of their wives because they're strong. They work hard. They look very resilient. They don't like, they want to shine. Okay, they don't like their shine. They don't want to, right. I understand what you're saying. They don't want their wives to outshine them. Exactly. Hey, Miss Sexy Queen, I see you in the chat. Okay, y'all. So y'all picking up what I'm putting down, and it's just the truth. Say a narcissist get that real bad. You say, Isis, are you and Shakara Richardson related? Resemblance is crazy. No, but I wouldn't be mad about it. She a beast, ain't she? Say, yep, I put my ego to the side as well. Not that I know of, Patrick. Not that I know of. Say exactly, Krisha. You say also at the workplace, they like to argue with women, but don't dare to argue with men. Exactly. Exactly. Submit to the white man, like I said. I'm telling y'all, I got them in a tizzy on TikTok. Got their pennies in a bunch. And guess what? Don't care. Because I don't cater to no man's feelings. I don't. I don't coddle your feelings. Your mama coddled your feelings too fucking much. And that's why y'all so sensitive now. See, it seemed like the black women, especially, I can only speak from my diaspora of people, because it's my experience. But the black woman, she catered to her son so damn much, she make them weak, and that's the problem too. That's part of that. Be forcing the daughters to be stronger, more emotionally stable. You sound like DL. Yeah. I'm so serious. It be their mamas catering and babying their sons, babying them. You say exactly. I'm working very close to a few of them right now. It's sad, utterly sad and real. It is. They know they're a whole hot mess. Okay. And see, that's why and when they get with women, oh, I'm looking for they be looking for somebody to treat them how they mamas treated them. Whether they say it exactly like how I just said it or not. I've had men to tell me they are looking for somebody like their mother. I'm not your mother. Don't want to be your mother. Your mammy. I don't want to be her. You see, they mess up the man mind so bad that it creates emotional incest, and they don't even realize it. That's actually sick. You are destroying your son. Because ultimately they really want to be in a relationship with their mother, but they can't, right? Because it's fucking disgusting. But they're looking for their mother. They're not looking for a woman that knows who she is, that they can build something with. They're looking for a woman to take care of them and cater and coddle them like they mothers do. It's sick. Right. Right. You say baby and black boys, but the girls have to be strong just because. And this is how black single mothers get this bad reputation. You know, they like, oh, they grew up in a black mother single household, you know. So it's like they blame all black single mothers for raising these diabolical sons, which I don't disagree, but to a certain extent, because all of us ain't like that. All black mothers don't baby their sons. I'm raising men, not boys. So I can't cater to my sons. Okay. I want all of my children to be in their power and in their sovereignty and know who they are. Be very conscious and aware. So I can't cater to them and coddle them, lie to them, right? I can't do that if I want them to be the greatest version of themselves. Women are doing their sons a disservice when you cater and coddle your sons. Hold their ass accountable. Teach them how to have emotional stability, how to stand righteously, you know, amongst the adversary. Everything don't have to be a problem. It's not your responsibility to control people outside of you. Your responsibility is to control yourself. That's all the power you really got. Because when you do that, you can control your reality, but you got to be conscious and aware that you are co-creating with the universe. I don't teach my daughter, she's still young, but you know, you should be loving all of your children the same, unconditionally, but with some conditions, if that makes sense. 11:11 on the clock. We should be loving all of our children the same, without division, without favoritism, without, you know, any type of ulterior motive. And I think that that is probably the core to a lot of the dysfunction between the male child and the mother. A lot of times that mother be looking for a man in her son. She give him the responsibilities of a man as a child. Right? And then you teach your daughter how to be small and, you know, not take up a lot of space. And when girls are supposed to do this, clean up, cook, you know, not take up a lot of space. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Say it makes sense. I think you're talking about the part where I said we are to love our children unconditionally, but with conditions at the same time. Right? Because they need to learn self-control. They need to learn sovereignty. They need to learn emotional intelligence. And like I was saying, I think that that is the core reason why a lot of men feel like they need women to submit to them because it gives them this false sense of power that they lack within themselves. A real powerful man not looking for other people to give him power because he have that power within himself. Same thing for a woman in her sovereignty. I know who I am. I don't need you to tell me who I am. I'm confident in myself. I don't need you to tell me, although it's appreciated, but I don't need you to tell me I'm beautiful. I know I'm beautiful. Whether you think I'm beautiful or not, it don't matter. Because a person who know themselves are not moved by what others think of them, what others do. They're not just, you know, going around being bullies and dictators, trying to get other people to humble themselves in their presence because it makes them feel powerful, and being manipulators and narcissistic and parasitic because it makes you feel powerful. Them the type of people I stay far away from. Once I peep game, it's a done deal. It's a done deal. Everything always got to be a combat. Always got to be a struggle, a fight. No, no, no. Can't do it. Right. Another word for submit is follow, obey. Hmm. This is a it's energetically an exchange. Energetically, the exchange should be give and take. When a man and a woman is together, it should be give and take. It shouldn't be, and I'm speaking energetically, okay? It should not be me giving you all of me, depleting myself, while you rise off of all the energy you're siphoning from me, because I'm submitted to you. I'm trusting that you are going to guide me. Women are putting their destiny in the hands of men who are incapable of leading their own life, let alone theirs. You should never put your destiny in somebody else's hands. But see, that's the trick. That's the scam. Women are to submit to their husbands as the husband do the church, or God do something. Like, how does scripture go? Women are supposed to submit to their husbands as they do God, or something to that extent. Hey, Kuana, that's not it. That's not how that go. I need to get that scripture because I need to read it exactly how it is. No, they are destiny swapping with the woman. That's what just hit me right there. Thank you, Spirit. Those type of men are looking to destiny swap with the woman. Red flag if you hear a man say, I need a woman to submit to me. Women are to submit to me. Any women who push that narrative, they are also misleading the woman, and they are working with the op. They want you to be okay with destiny swapping, because that's what it is. They're robbing you of your own destiny. They want to lead you to the pits of hell. That's what they're doing. In a coverted way, in an embellished way. Oh, you submit to me, I'll give you this. I'll give you riches. I'll give you a nice lifestyle. I'll pay all the bills. You won't have to worry about a thing when it comes to money. You're sacrificing something. You're sacrificing while they build off your life force, dog you out, more than likely dog you out, cheat on you like never before. Don't be honest. The things that a toxic woman will give up just to have a piece of man and just to have her bills paid for. That's still called settling. Even if you benefit off misogyny, you're settling. Even if you benefit off of misogyny and patriarchy, you are not your true self. And you are still a slave. See, they give you it's like I'm envisioning like a large gated space. You're not on a leash. They let you roam freely within that confined space. That's what misogyny and patriarchy is. That's what it is when a woman is benefiting off of patriarchy, so she thinks, by getting her bills paid in exchange for her sovereignty. You are still in a domesticated box. You're still not free. He said, yep, behind the scene, the man is like two faces, living double lives. True freedom is trusting the universe. True freedom is trusting yourself. True freedom is using your ability to co-create with the universe and create the reality that you deserve with no strings attached. There are no strings attached. But see, to really co-create with the universe consciously, because we're always co-creating with the universe, whether you're aware of it or not, whether you're creating a good life or one that don't serve you. But to consciously co-create with the universe, that does require a sacrifice too. Well, what does it require? What's the sacrifice? The sacrifice is, you have to sacrifice the things that don't serve your highest good. The versions of yourself where you people please and you accepted the bare minimum, or you minimized yourself. Co-creating consciously with the universe and your sovereignty requires a sacrifice too. All of the patriarchy beliefs, all of the distorted beliefs that goes directly against nature, which is you. That's why I say all the time, what are you willing to sacrifice for your sovereignty? Me, I was willing to sacrifice it all. I needed freedom. I want freedom. I want you to have freedom. I don't want women to be boxed in. That's not a good place to be in. It's not happy. It's not peace and joy. It's not none of that. They're robbing you of your peace and joy. You're being robbed. Some of us being robbed willingly. Got your hair, take it all. Your house wide open. No doors on your house whatsoever. They just come in, take what they want, get gone. You tell them, have a good day. A lot of women so lost. So lost. And I've been lost. I've been lost to a certain extent too. Are you willing to go against society's norms? Are you willing to stand out? Are you willing to be exiled by society? Because that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to attack you. Why? Because you're doing something that's out of the norm, that they deem normal. When you are not being when you are not easily to be tamed or at all. They can't tame you. They don't know what type of box to put you in. They don't know how to label you. They don't know what to think about you. They don't know if they should be afraid or if they should try to pursue a sexual relationship with you or not. They don't know what to do with you when they can't label you. That's when you know you are in a position where you are in your sovereignty and you are doing exactly what you should be doing, because now you're challenging limited beliefs. Now you're challenging society norms. Now people cannot put you in no box because you are unique. You are a unique person. We are not meant to be the same. We are not meant to be doing the same things. Supposed to be creative and unique. When you are connected to the divine feminine source, that's where your creativity comes from. King James told the woman, don't be creative. Isn't it ironic? Y'all don't find that surprising? That the Bible was the only book that they gave slaves to read? That was to indoctrinate them. Why would an oppressor give you something to free you? They wanted us to be oppressed and believing in false ideologies that they knew They knew was wrong or the opposite of what we believe or who we are as a people. They knew this. They did a number on us. They did a number on our ancestors. Be a rebel. Go against the grain. Be a trailblazer. Trying to see. What was King James' core beliefs? Right? He was deeply obsessed, excuse me, with demonology, witchcraft, and supernatural. Excuse me. He believed witches were real servants of the devil. James was convinced that witches made parts or pacts with Satan. Now, mind you, the Satan that the Bible talks about is really that of the Great Mother. The devil that the Bible speaks about is really the Great Mother, the creator of all things. That is who King James was demonizing. I think it was Bobby Hemmett that said that too. Like, one man's God is another man's devil. That fits perfectly because King James just flipped and distorted what we naturally will give reverence to, which was that of nature, the Great Mother. Flipped all of that, demonized the divine feminine, called it Satan, which was a mispronunciation of Shaitan, actually. Okay? So, claiming that the woman being connected to her divine feminine frequency had made a pact with Satan to harm others through curses, storms, illnesses, and death. He saw witchcraft not as superstition, but as organized rebellions against God. So who is God? The male sky god that King James gave us to believe in, right? That's who that King James was talking about, not the divine creator, Great Mother. No, he's talking about a male figure, Sky Daddy. And claiming that divine feminines or the divine feminine was an organized, rebellious group of women who are going against God. Now, I got to point to all of this. I'm going to bring this back full circle because weak men, that still stand. Only weak men want women to submit to them. That still stand. And I'm getting down to the root of it right now by bringing up King James and his beliefs and demonology, because he is the reason that men feel like women need to submit to them, specifically the black man. I told y'all I'm specifically speaking to our people because it's us that's going to fix this atrocity. I said it in the last live. This is an atrocity. And it's a lot of digging that we got to do. And it's going to be a lot of feelings and egos hurt. And that's okay too. Okay? King James believed witches targeted kings and kingdoms. His obsession grew after a storm nearly sank his ship while traveling from Denmark. He blamed witchcraft for the storm and became personally involved in the North Berwick witch trials. That was in 1590. Dozens of people, mostly women, were tortured and executed because he believed they plotted against him. He thought women were more susceptible to witchcraft. Influenced by both religious and cultural misogyny, James viewed women as weaker vessels. I just said that. This is what makes you a weak man, when you target the weaker vessels instead of protecting the weaker vessel, the one that you deem as biologically weaker than you. I don't know where they get that damn idea from, because ain't nothing never been weak about a black woman. Never. We ain't never gave weak. We might have settled for some bullshit, but we never gave weak. We always gave resilient. We always give warriors. Because a black man asked me, how are women warriors? How are we not? Do we not bear life? Do we not protect whole communities? Do we not stand up for what's right? No matter what type of backlash we get? We do it all the time. You got a mama? Did you not see your mama being a warrior? Anyway, I'll leave off that. Okay, so influenced by both religious and cultural misogyny, James viewed women as a weaker vessel who were easily tempted by the devil. This belief reflected the larger patriarchal narrative that women's independence or intellect was dangerous. Now, remember I said that earlier when I posted the picture on the screen. Men only want to humble women who they know are intelligent, who they know they can't outthink. They have dumbed the woman down so bad by way of torture and abuse, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Most of that rooted in slavery. Okay, but they dumb down the woman so much to the point where she don't use her mind enough and is easily controlled by a man that's dumbed down too. If that makes sense. You're dumbed down. As long as you're still submitted to the white man who's already dumbed down, you dumb down too. So women have to be really dumbed down for them to feel like they're incapable of even thinking for themselves. Time to level up. It's time to gear up. It's time to do some research. Dive deep. Go meditate. Go within yourself. Question yourself, because all the answers are within you. You don't technically need a book, but books serve as a confirmation. Okay? But they needed the woman dumbed down so that she could believe that she needed to be led. That's energetic warfare. They knew exactly what they was doing. That's psychological warfare manipulation. So our intellect is dangerous. That's because they fear that. They fear your intellectual abilities because they can't manipulate that. You're always going to expose their manipulations. And they're threatened by your independence. This is why they started the Bible off with saying Eve was the fall of humanity, because they want women to believe that they deserve to be abused and tortured, not protected. They want women to believe that Eve was the fall of humanity, knowing damn well Eve is the truth of that is Eve is a gene that women possess. It's DNA coded within the black woman. It's the mitochondria. It is our blueprint. And you want to tell people that Eve was the fall of humanity when she's the blueprint? Make that make sense. Well, first they started it off with Lilith and, Sophia. All of these are still archetypes of the Great Mother. Same story, same tactic, or different tactic, same story, different tactic. Just another archetype to demonize the woman. How could Eve have been the fall of humanity? Okay, so he saw that the tongue and speech, he saw the tongue and speech as tools of witchcraft. You know, it really wasn't about the cow drones and the kitchen witchery and all of the witchy things that they put in the movies and things like. It really wasn't even that. It was simply a woman who has an unfiltered tongue that they can't control. That's why they put the is it the new, not the news? What do you call them things? They had on the women mouths to tame their tongues. I need to find a picture. So in his writings, I'm going to try to find a picture, but in his writings, he associated incantations and cursing tongues with demonic power. In other words, a woman speaking boldly or using powerful words could be seen as performing witchcraft. So they just added all the extra shit. We if we are from nature, right? Then of course we're going to use things in nature to as tools, you know, to connect with Mother Earth and things like that. But they demonized all of that, our spirituality too. But they didn't like the fact that we didn't hold our tongues and that we spoke with power and that we had influence with our mouths and we spoke boldly. Do we not still see these same characteristics going on today? Said earlier in the live, right? They want you seen, not heard. I had a abuser tell me, before you make any decisions, come talk to me first because I don't trust your thinking. He told me he don't trust my thinking. And I'm like, what? But me being naive in that moment, I processed that as, okay, I don't mind talking to him about the decisions that's going to affect the household or something to that extent. I remember thinking that I was trying to make an excuse for what he had said in that moment, even though it didn't sit right with me. The fact that he insulted my intelligence and my ability to think for myself and make intellectual decisions. But see, a lot of toxic men feel like women are not capable of thinking for themselves because it's out of fear. They fear the power of the woman and her mouth, her tongue, right? In other words, a woman speaking boldly and using powerful words could be seen as performing witchcraft. This connects directly. Okay, let's skip that part. He authored a book titled Daemonology in 1597. Now, when did slavery start, y'all, according to them? Hmm? About 400 years ago. Excuse me. So this book was okay. He outlines how to detect, interrogate, and punish witches. I really believe that. I'm trying to find this picture too. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, two things. Africans. Okay, so slavery started in the United States in 1619. Is that correct? Oh, it's like a muzzle, face muzzle. That's what it was. Let me just show y'all the picture from my phone. See that? Oh, it's probably. Can y'all see that? Okay, so that's basically what I was talking about. Patrick say, I bet Eve was a fine woman too. Imagine that. The first woman. Look, and she probably was, especially she was a black goddess, honey. I'm sure she was. But I really feel like, now I don't know this to be actual factual, but I feel like the Bible make it seem like Eve was the first woman. Like, I don't think that she was. I think that they created this system where I think Eve could just represent a archetype of women. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that she actually represents the first woman. I think it's more so a archetype, like a psychology, a mindset, more so. Just like I was saying about Lilith. Lilith was the rebel, right? The one that was not tameable, the one that won't listen. And I feel like those are the two archetypes that a lot of women are dealing with today, which will be the reason why we had we got the term pick me's, because that Eve version of the Bible gives pick me energy. Lilith gives going against the grain. I ain't no pick me, don't give a damn if you want me or not. I'm doing my own thing type of thing, right? I just think it's more so an archetype. But I had looked up the actual year because I couldn't remember. The actual year that slavery started, according to Google, was 1619. Okay. So King James wrote Demonology in 1597. Okay. They were scolding women. They had these scolds on women back in the 1550. So I think that slavery was even rooted in this whole concept of King James. Even then. So black men, I highly encourage y'all to deconstruct slavery. Like I tell people, we got to go back and see what tactics they were using, because a lot of that is still being used today. A lot of their ideologies we still believe today as a collective. That's how powerful that shit was. King James started his bullshit way before slavery even began, according to the numbers that I'm seeing. Way before, in the United States. This is why I believe we was definitely here before they came and conquered this land. Then that's another topic, okay? But in 1597, he outlines how to detect, interrogate, and punish witches. The book wasn't just literature. It helped justify witch hunts and was used as the theological basis for persecution. He later commissioned the King James Bible in 1611. King James wanted men to hate women. King James, the dictator, wanted women out of their power, and he wanted men to hate them. He wanted to implement this dictatorship and deeply embed it in the psyche of the man, so that even then, when they are in their homes, they will implement this slave master dynamic in their homes. The government has the same ideology. Y'all don't realize we got a narcissistic relationship with the government, dictatorship with the government. We're the victims. We're being abused by this so-called government, mind control operations and systems. Same thing King James was doing. Slavery, same thing. Willie Lynch, same thing. Says in 1611, many scholars noted that his intense fear of witchcraft and desire for divine order influenced how certain translations were framed. So he did this to mock the true divine order and the true royal family dynamic. How certain translations were phrased. Okay. Reinforcing patriarchal interpretations of scripture and moral authority. So, energetically speaking, King James' obsession with demonology represents a spiritual war on the feminine principle, on intuition, emotional truth, and sacred wisdom. Women who spoke the truth and speak the truth today, or challenged power, were labeled as witches. In reality, they were seers, healers, and truth tellers. We are the seers and healers and truth tellers. They ain't like that. They don't want to be reminded of how diabolical they are. How dare you show me who I am at the core? That's what it's giving. Demonology became a tool for social control, eliminating dissent and dangerous wisdom keepers. So it was male and female, but mostly women. They didn't want anybody who was intuitive. Because again, they don't want thinkers. They want bodies. They don't want you to go against abuse. They want you to accept it. It say this flipped narrative made it easier to control populations and erase indigenous spiritual knowledge. It also justifies persecution of those who held the old ways, particularly women and healers. When someone calls you a witch, or say you're doing witchcraft, or you got a slick mouth, like that ass kissing comment that I read earlier, person, it says they're unconsciously tapping into the same inversion, equating your sovereignty and truth with evil and dangerous power. Wasn't random if you. And it says James didn't just believe what he believed, right? He personally interrogated the accused, including women, a woman named Agnes Sampson. That's the woman I was telling y'all about, who he blamed her powers of working with the weather to try to take him out as he was sailing across the sea. Says she was tortured until she confessed that the devil told her to sink the king's ship. This is why I say too, like during slavery, where they claim they got videos of Black people stating that they enjoyed slavery and that master treated us good. I would say if I was being tortured and abused, I would say that too. If that was gonna keep me from getting my ass whooped and tore out the frame, I would say it too. Shit. That don't mean they actually liked it. Y'all gotta read between the lines when it comes to that. I've heard it myself. Oh yeah, we master treat us good. I heard it. And who's to say they probably made that up? They probably made that up for all we know. But I'm getting it from what I'm reading about her, about the lady confessing only because she was being not demonized, abused. It said James was so convinced that he later wrote the book Demonology based off of that particular situation to educate others on how witches work with Satan to harm the righteous. He considered himself righteous. He was a ruler obsessed with control and divine favor. A storm, something he couldn't control, threatened his power and survival. So his ego had to find someone to blame. Witches. They became the perfect scapegoat. It's a pattern that still exists. When powerful people feel threatened, they project evil onto whatever challenges their authority, whether that's women, truth tellers, or movements for liberation. I got a lot to say about that, but I'm gonna leave that there. So let me see what else I gotta say. So under torture, the human nervous system goes into sheer survival mode. The goal isn't truth, the goal is stopping the pain. So people confess to impossible things, flying on broomsticks, birthing demon cats, sinking ships from miles away, because it was the only way to make the torture stop. Those confessions were then used as proof that witches were real, which fueled more trials and more executions. It created a self-feeding loop of hysteria. The more confessions extracted, the more evidence the authorities had to justify their fears and abuse. It's very similar to how coerced confessions work even today under duress. Police interrogations, war crimes, and cultic deliverance rituals, right? Pain scrambles truth. And that would explain why society is so torturous and abusive, because it's all about that damn ego and holding up the lies. They don't like people to speak the truth because it exposes that shadow system that's behind all of this fucking abuse. Same tactic or same agenda, different tactic. Same damn thing. Where I leave off at. And the most ironic part, the church and monarchy called it justice, but it was actually state-sanctioned terror. So if we look energetically and archetypically, right, symbolically or psychologically, the Black woman represents the original womb, the source of life and wisdom. Rejection from that source could symbolize a loss of connection to creation, lending or leading, sorry, leading to an ego-based need to dominate what one feels separated from. The desire to control and colonize and possess becomes a distorted attempt to reclaim the power and belonging that was lost when connection to the mother, earth, divine feminine origin was broken. When humanity became disconnected from the black womb, or what I like to say, the cosmic mother, the original mother, the creator, it tried to replace creation with control. What is that word? Yaldabaoth. Some may call it Yaldabaoth, some may call it archons. We in this day and age say narcissist a lot, but to me, narcissism is just the tip of the iceberg. It gets deeper, darker, and more sadistic. However, the false matrix is a direct opposition to the original mother, and tried to, and is so far it has succeeded at replacing the original creation, right, with control. That's why we got systems. That's why we got the government. That's why we got intelligence agencies to, you know, to maintain mind control. Okay, so for me, it goes a lot deeper than just a man wanting a woman to submit to him. I think that was just my starter piece of this live. But in actuality, it's really about these dark systems that want to maintain power and control over the feminine. They want to distort the masculine and feminine energy and suppress the divine feminine and masculine, really, because it's the total opposite of divine law and order, which is that of the divine masculine and feminine. But men have a hard time accepting the fact that women are the blueprint. It just is what it is. That don't make you less of a creation. I mean, you made in the image of God. Who is God? The black woman. You're made in her image. So that doesn't make you any less valuable. It's just that you are not the creator. And that is okay. Just not. Men have a fertilizer that waters the seed in the woman. The woman brings about life. She's the portal. She's the creator. That's okay. Your job, your role is still very needed and important. You were created to protect, to be of service. So that's still important. Because the fact that they push this narrative that women are supposed to submit to men speaks to the root of where they even got that idea from to begin with. It's all flipped and distorted. So if King James and all the distorted masculines and ego-driven men are screaming that women are supposed to submit to them, then maybe it's actually the opposite. Maybe men are supposed to be given reverence to the creator, the portal, the woman. Just maybe. Have you ever have any men ever dealt with a woman that actually treated him well? You know, most women are nurturers by nature. All we want is respect. Respect me as a woman, and you'll have it all. We multiply it all. You give us hell, we gonna multiply that hell. You give us life, we gonna multiply that life. You are going to be so good when you're dealing with a woman who feels respected, honored, and cared for and protected. You get good in return. So where is the problem coming in at? Men have distorted masculines have this deep-rooted desire to control women. That's just the bottom line. Because you could be good to a distorted masculine as a woman, you could be good to him. He won't see or accept none of that or appreciate none of that if he's ego driven. He won't appreciate it at all. But his homeboy can do it for him, and he gonna, thanks, bro. Thank you so much. He gets so much respect to his homeboys because he feel like if the woman owes him that. She's obligated to give him respect, even when she feels disrespected. No. A woman that feels respected, she gonna give you respect too. She gonna make sure you good. Even in that Bible, it say that man who finds a wife finds a good thing. They knew that much, but they were still speaking from a low vibrational standpoint because they felt like women are to be servants. So you find you a wife, then you find a good thing. That's the biblical sense. But in actuality, from a divine perspective, respect has to be reciprocated. You have to mutually respect your partner if you want things to be harmonious, if you want, her to be fruitful and multiply goodness. You got to give respect. Or you can't try to control the woman. You can't. You don't win trying to control the woman. You just don't win. You don't benefit from that. And if you feel like you do benefit from it, that's because she being small and you weak. That's because she's not truly being who she is, because her being weak or in her weak state makes you feel good. That also makes you a weak man. Anytime you attack a woman's appearance because she is speaking something that your ego doesn't agree with, or you want to humble her to silence her, you're a weak man. Period, point blank. And I tell the ancestors, off with their heads. Off with their heads. They're not benefiting our community. They're not. And I feel like it's a lot of confusion that goes on. Where there's truth, there's no confusion. Where there's lies, there's manipulation and deception and chaos. It's very simple. Are you willing to accept the truth? Are you willing to go do a deep dive and see the truth for yourself? Are you willing to go sit out in nature and meditate and go within yourself and ask questions and put your ego to the side? What are you willing to sacrifice for your sovereignty? It's a question I ask. Because I could pop my shit all day. But at the end of the day, was I wrong? No. Was it a lie? No. All the information we got out here is no reason that, see, people are choosing to not do this research and not go seek the truth. They're it's on purpose because they benefit from the lie. As long as a manipulator can benefit from a lie and an illusion, why would they go seek the truth? So that's why it's up to women. Women got to raise our standards. Women got to realize that we are the prize. There will be no birthing of no nation if she did not allow that man access to her. That's something that women have to realize. And I think a lot of the reasons that women still deal with men, toxic men, is because they are afraid of being alone themselves. They don't know how to be alone. Subconsciously, you've been taught to depend on a man so much that you don't even know how to be alone. So I think it has a lot to do with that too. Just the subconscious programming. And the fear of being alone, or maybe feeling like you can't make it, or you've depended on that man so long to pay your bills and give you money and take care of everything, that you just become complacent, and lazy in a sense, mentally lazy, or just don't have the desire anymore. They trick the woman to believe in this fairy tale relationship. Then you get in a relationship and you realize, damn, this ain't what I thought it was gonna be. Even when you get married, like that don't a beautiful, extravagant wedding not gonna change the fact that person toxic. And you got to minimize yourself just to be with them. You got to humiliate yourself just to be with them. That doesn't change that. It doesn't change their programming that they have about women. It does not. And a lot of Black women are starting to, I see it all the time on the internet, especially TikTok. They pushing this narrative, go be with the white man, go be with the white man. They're going to treat you better. They're going to respect you. Sorry to break it to you. Most white men, if not all, they fantasize about Black women. That's like an ultimate flex to them. You better go do your research and really see who the white man is at the core. The white man is a direct opposition to the Black woman. They're just trying to keep their withering away species alive. That's all they're trying to do, and mix their species with the original. That's all it is. You can't tell me you feel connected to somebody that's not like you. How? Only thing you're benefiting from dating white men is money. That's it. Culturally, you have nothing in common. They don't know nothing about being a Black person in America. Or Black, period. They don't know. Other than what they heard, what they've been told to believe, that they're superior. No matter what they say, subconsciously, they believe that they are superior. That's facts. So if they dealing with a Black woman, it's a flex. They just want to flex. They don't like you for real. They can't relate to you. A white woman left a comment under one of my videos and said, what exactly did she say? I should have screenshot it. I'm going to try to remember what she said. But she said something to the extent of, me and your brother will be at your cookout. Stop the racism. Because I said in the video that white people don't like us. Most of them don't. And I'm speaking from experience, okay? But she was trying to be funny. See, it's our people, our men that has the white woman feeling like she can speak on topics or take our men, or make them feel comfortable to do and say the shit that they do, because Black men put us in competition with the white woman. It should be no competition. It should be No competition when it comes to us and them other people. But they give them that power. They make them feel like they can speak on shit. I don't know why spirit taking me this way, but I'm rolling with it. I'm rolling with it. Now, how do you really feel in real life, though? When you around white people, how do you really feel? Can't nobody on the internet tell me what I experience in real life when I hit the end button on this live and I go outside my house and I go out there and I experience white people. Most of them, 99% of them, do not respect black people. They tolerating you and respecting you is two different things. They tolerate us. They don't respect us. They don't look at us as an equal. They look at us as a subhuman. They look at us as something less than them. I'm speaking from a real life experience. We don't need to read a book to know this. We experience them at the job. We experience them out in public. We experience them in our neighborhoods. If you stay by them, we experience them all over the United States or wherever else you go. But we experience them. So you're not going to gaslight me and make me feel like what I've experienced and what I continue to experience is not actually happening. No matter what they say and how they try to show and present themselves online, right? Because they try to come off like they are friends because they want to be at the cookout. They want to be. They want to be able to infiltrate us and you know, divide and conquer, the same bullshit. That's what they want. I do not encourage no black woman to go be with nobody outside your race. And that's okay. Do you see zebras mating with elephants? No, you don't. They just is over there and they just is over there. And that is okay. The much shit, the amount of trauma that the white race has caused us. I'd rather be single as a fucking bird if I have to choose to be with a white man. If a white man was the last man on earth, I would be with a bird. No. They have done way too much damage. Way too much. And I'm not going to ignore it. I'm not. No. Then had a nurse that called me racist. I call out the abuse that you caused our ancestors and continue to cause us today. Whether you have a direct hand in the government or you have a direct hand, you know, in these systems that are abusive to us, or you just a white neighbor of mine that chooses to undermine my presence. You know, it's like, it's all wrong. To me, it's all wrong. I seen how they do. I see how they do. I watch them. Why they do just like they watch you, they watch you. They watch your ass. They ain't doing nothing else. They watching the black ones. I really don't like saying black, but you know, they watching the indigenous copper color beings. They watching this. A lot of white people have not deconstructed what their ancestors have caused the black community. They don't even want to talk about it. In fact, they want us to get over it. That's abusive. You want somebody to get over some shit that you refuse to acknowledge. Well, that wasn't us. That was our ancestors. Y'all still got the same blood in y'all body. Just like we are our ancestors. We got our ancestors' blood and DNA. Y'all do too. And just like we have to heal our generational trauma, what the hell they got to do? That's the only way I can see them being accepted into um the kingdom of the great mother. That's how it's coming to me. That's the only way I can see them. They got to deconstruct their bullshit and make real changes. That means all systems got to change. It can't be no oppression in no system, right? Because they benefit off the oppressive systems. They benefit off of these oppressive systems. And you think it's okay to date them? You think it's okay to procreate with them? Their ancestors created these oppressive systems. And we supposed to be okay with it. I don't see them going around demolishing or getting rid of all of these oppressive what you call it? Can't think of the name, but I don't see them going to make any changes to anything. Nothing. Why? Because they benefit off of these same oppressive systems their ancestors created. So I don't want to hear that. The problem I have, or the issue that's affecting our community, is the fact that a lot of our people think just like the oppressor. They think like the oppressors, and that is the problem. I'm okay with being separate from those motherfuckers who got something to do with our slavery, our mental slavery, the slaveries of our ancestors. I'm okay with them being way the fuck over there. But what are we gonna do about the black people who think just like the oppressors? What are we gonna do with them? Who will sell us out for a slice of apple pie and some goddamn piss? What are we gonna do about them? The ancestors say it's an atrocity, and I don't think it could be a better word. It's an atrocity. The slave master told you to sell your divinity. The slave master told you to sell your integrity and self-respect for money, fame, and riches. That's what the slave master told you to do. And go against your own people. Join their fraternities and sororities. Knowing damn well, why do people act like they don't know what take place when you have to join sororities and secret societies? They mad about the Prince Hall video on TikTok. Let me tell y'all this. You got to pledge to be in a sorority or a society or fraternity. You have to pledge. Well, what is the pledge? You have to be tested. You have to be humiliated. You have to be sworn in by doing humiliating shit. That is the character of your oppressor. Instead of doing what's righteous and what's morally righteous, that aligns with your divinity and connection to source, you have to pledge to even be a part of their secret societies, their Prince Halls, their Freemasons, their goddamn Eastern Stars, the Divine Nine, the goddamn who else? Who else? Secret societies in general, fraternities, whatever fraternity or sorority. You have to show yourself loyal to that system. So you got to sell your core values just to be accepted in their societies for what? To get status? To be protected in these oppressive systems? That's all it's for. And then they put it under the guise of brotherhood. This is a sisterhood. That's an abomination. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Selling out your own people, your own community, to be a part of a goddamn sorority or fraternity that don't mean you no fucking good. They're stealing your divinity, sacrificing you to create more illusions, more oppression, and more fucking bullshit. That's all it is. But y'all want to act so stupid and confused, like y'all don't understand what I'm saying. Oh, you understand exactly what I'm saying. Ain't nobody off limits when it comes to lies and deception. It just is what it is. What else I gotta say? Don't like that. Whatever happened to death before dishonor? Whatever happened to, you know, loyalty to your own community, your own people? Somebody say, "Oh, my ancestors, what they say? My ancestors was a part of Prince Hall, or my ancestors something," and I'm like, my ancestors stood 10 toes down about their loyalty to their own people. I don't know what ancestors y'all be talking to, but my ancestors some motherfucking OGs. I don't know what be coming through y'all channels, but that's not what be coming through my channels at all. They not with this oppressive shit, this slavery shit, this sellout shit. They're not with none of that. They not, no. And they try to make excuses for. I have men in the comments like, "Oh, it's not just black men who want to be like the white man. It's black women too. It's black women too. It's all one and the same. Y'all sound like some, what they say, punks. I don't care. The point of the matter is, anybody who sell out their own community is not to be trusted. I don't care what you call yourself. If you call yourself black, if you call yourself indigenous, if you call yourself copper, nine, either, whatever you want to call yourself. If you are sworn into Prince Hall, Freemasonry, Masons, 10th Lord, whatever you call it, any type of society, okay, where you have to pledge in, you are not authentic. Okay? You can never say you're authentic. I don't care how you try to mask it. You're not loyal to nobody but yourself. That's what I'm saying. And you could tell the ones who already done sold their souls based off of how they comment. I could tell. Oh yeah, you must be one that done sold your soul and pledged. Yep, you gotta be that one. Cause ain't nobody gonna defend no shit that requires you to sell yourself, sell your core values, and make it an excuse for it. It's no excuse. It's no excuse. This is why the white man win. This is why our opposition win. They made themselves an opposition by going against divine law and order. You made yourself an opposition. We are a manifestation, supposed to be, of divine law and order. The black men, the black woman and men. So anybody that's going against that made themselves an opposition. It's simple. When they started abusing the woman, demasculating the man, traumatizing the child, abusing the family, the royal family dynamic, they made themselves an opposition. And they're not going to try to flip the narrative and make it seem like we're the problem. Oh, y'all the racist. I'm racist because I don't want to deal with your ass. That's not being racist. That's being smart to me. If I know you are opposition, why would I want you to come to my cookout? If I know that you don't mean me no good, right? Nothing well. If I know this, why would I want you to come be around me? I don't have to respect you. I don't have to respect somebody that abused me. I don't have to forget or forgive you either. I forgive myself for being naive. I forgive myself for being too trusting. I don't have to have nothing to do with you, actually. And I ain't gonna feel guilt about it. You showed me who you are. Thank you. Now I can know how to maneuver. That's all it is. It's a tactic when they try to call black people racist. How are we racist? How can we even be racist? Let's start there. The original, the blueprint. How can we be racist? Y'all, white people are racist. They created racism. They decided to go against the blueprint. They decided to create weapons and destroy and tear up shit and abuse. They did that. Now, us defending ourselves isn't our right to do so. Not trusting them, that's a natural thing to do after you've been abused for so long. Like, that don't even make sense. That don't even make sense. But again, that's the gaslighting tactic to say, oh, stop being racist. You know, we can come to the cookout. We deserve to be at the cookout. I'll be at the cookout. Your brother gonna bring me to the cookout. Well, good thing I ain't got a brother to bring you to a cookout. Good thing I ain't got one. Trying to be sarcastic. It's just crazy though. So yes, y'all. Trying to pull up my video again. Thank you, Miss Taxi Queen. I see you in the chat with the links. We got 6 in here. Okay, y'all. It's been a couple of hours. I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. Thank y'all for listening to my rant. I was just talking and just talking. I have a lot to say about a lot. But tomorrow, I'm gonna come live. I'm gonna try to do around the same time that I'm live, that went live earlier today. So like in the morning. And we'll talk soon. If y'all want, y'all can drop in the comments if it's a specific topic you want to talk about or discuss. We can do that. Just drop it down in the comments. If not, I'll be back with something. It ain't hard for me to think about a topic. Y'all have a big, beautiful day on purpose with a purpose. And I'll see y'all next time, okay? Peace, family. Wrong one.